Hello, my name is Gina. Really happy to be here and practice some yoga with you today. And so this is a Vinyasa yoga practice, and I like to just throw a bunch of stuff out there, and hopefully you're at home or somewhere where you can do what works, don't do what doesn't work for you, have a little fun with it. If for some reason you'd like a slower practice where we take more time to detail everything, I also have Yoga 101. It's live streaming on Tuesday evenings, but you can catch it any time. So if you want to shift any time to a slower, I wouldn't say easier, because we take a little more time with things. So sometimes it's actually in some ways harder, but just a little bit of a different vibe. There's always that class. Anyhow, as I'm approaching this practice today, this morning I was thinking, boy, a lot of us have had to do a lot of things we didn't know we'd ever have to do this past year. I know that that's been kind of on my mind lately. And one of those things for me is definitely live streaming yoga classes. Never thought I would do this. Never thought I would teach to a camera. And yet, how cool that I've been able to still share my practice and a practice with hopefully some of you out there, and hopefully it's beneficial to connect even in this virtual way. And so I might just put out there, like, for me it was getting over needing some feedback on my teaching and needing that energy and just putting some energy out into the world. Hopefully putting out centering, grounding, some balance, some breath, and letting it land wherever it needs to land. And if it doesn't stick anywhere on a certain day, it doesn't need to land anywhere, and that's okay. So just kind of putting that out there that if we all just practice putting some energy out that we want to cultivate in the world, like planting seeds, what a beautiful thing that would be. So let's plant some seeds today with our breath. So find a comfortable seat. I have a strap and I have a block and a mat for today's practice. Anything like these could work for you, and you can certainly manage without those too. But the block could be helpful for a relatively long spine in your seat. Let your hands rest anywhere. Close your eyes. Settle into awareness here. And I love these first few moments of a practice. I think I love all the moments, but these first few moments are pretty interesting for me, because often I know when I'm at home there's this push-pull of all the other things I could be doing. Some resistance to actually showing up, not just physically, but mentally. A little resistance maybe to the physical practice. Maybe I don't feel 100%, a little tender in certain places, but our yoga practice asks us to show up as we are, resistance and all, tenderness wherever it is, excitement wherever it is, with this sense of presence right now, right here. And start to deepen your breath a little bit. So longer inhale, longer, more complete exhale. And this even breath, this commitment to balance in your breath, such a beautiful way to begin a practice with that intention of balance. Balancing energy, you could say, like yin yang, sun, moon. In Sanskrit, hatha yoga, sun, moon. And take a long breath in here through your nostrils. Let it go through your mouth. And open your eyes, and we're going to begin just with a little bit of movement here, seated. So again, a long spine is really helpful. We'll interlace hands right here in front of you, and then take a big inhale, expand your front ribs, and then exhale. We're coming to a cat spine. You're pressing palms forward, pulling your belly button toward your spine. Now inhale and get really tall, really long here. Side waist is long. Release your hands, interlace your hands at your low back. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Inhale to lengthen. Nice extension of your spine and back to neutral. So we'll do this a few times. If you want to switch other hand in front, that's great. Inhale. Exhale to press. Inhale, really long. Exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze shoulder blades together. And back to neutral. Again, inhale. Moving meditation, exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release, interlace. Inhale. Neutral, and again, inhale. Exhale, press. Inhale, lengthen. Release, interlace. Squeeze shoulder blades together, inhale. Adding on this time, same thing, inhale. Press with your exhale. Inhale, get really long here. Now on your exhale, release your hands, and you're going to twist to your right side, keeping your spine really long. And then inhale to reach up. And twist with your exhale. So you're thinking about the twisting coming really through the side waist, the low belly. Inhale, not so much head and shoulders, but more through that low torso. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Let's do one more round of those twists. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Take one more reach on your inhale. Interlace your hands at your low back. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Inhale. Back to neutral. And one more round. Inhale. Press with your exhale. Inhale to reach. Now stay. Lift and lengthen up. Front ribs in. And you're leaning out over to your right side. So peeling open this whole left side there. Those ribs expand open. Oh, that feels good. Dropping your left hip down. Inhale to center and other side. Now there's almost this feeling of going up to go over. Lifting, lifting through that low torso, through the side waist, through the low back. Inhale to center. One more of those. I'm going to switch the interlace of my hands. Leaning over there. Back to neutral, up and over to the other side. Back to neutral, interlace your hands, squeeze shoulder blades together, inhale. Neutral with your exhale. So we just took the spine through all of the possible movements. Extension, flexion, twisting, lateral flexion. Let's go ahead and come onto our backs. And begin with your knees bent right over your hips. Knees are together, and your hands are out, kind of like a T shape, palms up, if that works for you here. Yeah, and we're going to inhale right here, and as you exhale, you're taking your knees over to the right side, and they hover like an inch off the floor. Inhale to center, and over to the left, hover. Shoulders stay really anchored. Inhale to center, and to the right, exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale to twist. So we're keeping this going. You can go to any degree over. Maybe it doesn't feel good to go quite as far. Inhaling to center and exhaling to twist. So you can stay with your knees relatively bent, or at some point you can start to lengthen your legs to any degree. Right? You have this whole spectrum of leg to work with. And your exhale twists. Gradually, as you maybe lengthen your legs, it's like your toes come toward that palm that's up. Inhale to center and exhale across. So if knees still bent works better, stay with that for sure. Otherwise, exploring any extension of the leg that feels good. Starting to build a little warmth there in this midsection. One last round. Exhale across. Inhale to center and exhale across. Inhale to center and make your way up to hands and knees. How are you guys doing? Are we a little bit awake now? Here in Seattle, we had a big storm last night, so I think there's like some energy in me that's like ready to release. Can you feel that? Hands and knees, cat-cow, inhale. Exhale, round. Again, inhale. Exhale, round. Find neutral. Pull your front ribs in, press the mat away, tuck your toes, breathe in here. Now get dynamic. Really press the hands away. Hollow your armpits. Feel strong. You're hugging the muscles around your bones. Create structure internally with your bones. Create support with your muscles. All right, then start to send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. A couple of breaths here to sway your hips side to side, to bend your knees a little bit or a lot. Breathe. And we'll bring feet together to touch. Inhale, right leg reaches up and back. We'll open your hip, bend your knee, and now take a big circle in the air with your right knee. Trying to mobilize that right hip. And go the other direction. Often this early in the practice, there may be a little bit of like, oh, right? Inhale, extend your right leg long. Knee to nose, curl, exhale. Really round your spine. Inhale, extend. And again, knee to nose, curl. Inhale, extend. Right foot steps through, get really long. Inhale to round. Exhale, lengthen. Getting into those leg muscles. Inhale, that gliding action. Exhale, IT band. Right on the side of the leg, glides right past your quads. I love to think of that. And then we're going to shift to the side, Skandasana, side to side. So again, just starting to hydrate the joints, hips, knees, ankles, hydrating your brain. And then notice where maybe that resistance factor is now. Often about now it's like, okay, I'm here. I'm going to stick with it a little bit longer. Place your left hand down. Right hand sweeps up. So come into, again, a twist. That side waist, low belly draws in. You can always have a block or a book underneath that left hand. Other side. Right hand comes down. Left hand goes high. Inhale, hands down. Walk your hands toward the front of the mat once again. Plank pose on your exhale. Couple of breaths right here. Feel strong, feel engaged. Front body zipped up. Inhale, shift forward, lower all the way down. Low cobra with your inhale. Downward facing dog with your exhale. Bring your feet together to touch. Inhale, left leg reaches up and back. Knee to nose, curl in, exhale. Inhale, reach. And again, curl, exhale. Inhale, extend. Step through all the way, long lunge on your exhale. Get really long through the back body. Inhale to round. Exhale, lengthen. And again, inhale. Exhale, lengthen. All right, walk yourself over to that side. Again, that long edge of your mat. You can take that same Skandasana side to side here. Maybe it feels good to come a little bit deeper. Maybe it doesn't feel good to come a little bit deeper. Maybe your knees are not into that. So stay with the version that works. Maybe you're using your hands a little less. Oh. All right, coming back to neutral. Any hang forward that you'd like to. Release head, neck, jaw. Stay strong in your legs. So you're still zipping up energy. Inner thighs are awake, I often lift the toes to make sure the arches are lifted here. Feeling that energy you can create from the ground up here. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk toward the front of your mat. Left foot is forward. Step back, plank pose. Lower all the way or halfway, chaturanga. Low cobra or upward dog. Downward facing dog with your exhale. Couple of breaths right there. Downward facing dog. What energy do you want to bring to your practice today? What energy do you want to put out in the world today? Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or float forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Bow, exhale. Inhale, reach up. Surya Namaskar, A, bow forward, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Plank pose on your exhale. We're lowering all the way or halfway, chaturanga. Low cobra or upward dog. Downward facing dog with your exhale. So all these little variables through the practice, through the sun salutation, really help to make the practice perfect for you today. What does your body need today? If you're not trying to prove anything, inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or float forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Bow, exhale. Inhale, reach all the way up. And again, bow, exhale. Inhale, halfway. Plank pose on your exhale. Lower all the way or halfway. Low cobra or upward dog. Downward facing dog with your breath out. Release your jaw and your face. Release the back of your neck. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or float forward. Inhale, halfway. Bow, exhale. So stay with me. From here, bowing forward, I'd like you to think about your left foot, and you're going to catch your right knee, left hand to your left hip, and we're going to press down to that left foot to stand up. Right knee is in, right? So you're here, and I'd like you to hug the midline. So your inner thigh draws in, really strong through the inner thigh of your left leg. Good breathing. And I just shift here. And then extend your left arm up if you'd like to. Extend your right arm up if you'd like to. Extend your leg if you want to. Inhale, airplane pose. Right leg goes back, hands reach back. Now feel the back line of your body. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Strong right hamstring. Bend your left knee. Lightly stepping back, crescent lunge. Feel your front heel there. Feel strong back leg. Let's stay here and breathe. Hug the midline, inner thighs. Belly in. And now elbows go wide, shoulder blades down. Maybe lifting up and just slightly back there. One more of those. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, shoulder blades slide down to lift and lengthen up. Inhale to reach. Hands to heart. Breathe in. Twist with your breath out. So having a nice strong back leg, really key for that. If the back knee is bent, I feel everything kind of drops. So the more power you find in that back leg, you can always take your back knee down. That feels better for you. But you want to stay with nice integrity in that back leg. Press into that front heel. Option to open your arms. Right hand down to a block or the floor. Inhale. Coming into plank pose and side plank. Vashisthasana. Left hand is down, right hand high. Your version of side plank. Whatever feels best. Breathing. Inhale. Hands to mat. Lower on your exhale. Low cobra or upward dog. Downward facing dog on your exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or float forward. Inhale, halfway. Bow, exhale. A little bend of your knees can be really helpful here. Right hand to right hip. You're catching your left knee as you come up to standing. Right foot still keeps all of the attention pressing down to go up. Yeah, lift the right hip in and under. Right hand can reach high. Left hand can reach high. Left leg can reach forward. Low belly, inhale. Left leg goes back. Find your airplane pose, Dikasana. Press down. Lengthen out. Wobble a little bit if you need to. Inhale, slowly stepping back. Crescent lunge. Inhale, reach hands high. Now here, elbows slide down. Lift and lengthen. Inhale. And again, strong back leg. Keep that support through the back body here. Inhale to reach. Hands to heart. Breathe in and twist with your breath out. Long, full, steady breath. One more inhale. You can open your arms if you'd like to. Plank pose into your version of side plank. Could be modified with your right knee down. Could be lifting one leg up. Breathing here. Inhale, hands to mat, lower forward, low cobra or upward dog, downward facing dog. Exhale, bring your knees down. Take a little moment. Child's pose. Downward dog could be a rest for you. Maybe a seat feels better for you. Breathing. Slow down your breath. Steady your breath. Study your breath. And it's so cool that we have the ability to create energy on our own, right? In our practice, we're just creating some energy by moving and breathing. It doesn't have to look a certain way. And we'll make our way back into downward facing dog as you're ready. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or float forward. Inhale, halfway. Bow, exhale. Coming up to standing. That same idea of hugging your right knee in. Left foot presses down. So left foot is the anchor. Right knee draws in. I'm just going to adjust so I'm facing this direction. Left foot presses down, right knee in. So here, let's take left arm high. You can choose to keep your right knee with your right hand, or you could reach right hand high. And then we're just taking the knee out to the side. Lift. Headed toward half moon. Having a block underneath your left hand, unless it's way at the other side of your mat. Breathing here, expansive, supported, pressing into that standing heel. Inhale, slowly, warrior two. Land way back there. Or adjust if you didn't get quite back there. Breathing, bending your left knee, expansive, strong. Show up for yourself right here. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Side angle with your exhale. We're going to come in progressively. Stay with forearm to thigh. Inhale, reach up, or left hand comes a little lower as you'd like to. Inhale, reach up. Two more. Stay with here, here, maybe starting to come a little lower. Last one, inhale. And your version of a side angle on your exhale, breathing. Inhale here, hands down, lifting the back heel. So I'm in that long lunge. Now I'm taking my left foot. I'm going to adjust this way. Taking my left foot nice and wide. Great place to have a block nearby. So we're coming into the lizard pose, which really is about hips. Flex this left foot. You're thinking about the whole thigh rolling open from the hip socket here. So you might even lift the inner edge of your left foot there. You could always have something so that you're a little higher here. So hands on your blocks, hands on the floor, or if you'd like to, you could start to bring your forearms down to a block or the floor. Hello to your outer right hip. Hello to the front, outer left hip. Hello to the front of your right hip flexors there. So great place to stay, or I'm going to offer today to add on a little bit here, working toward the head to heel pose. So for this one, you want to find a little more even placement or grounded placement of that left foot. Back foot steps in, more like a warrior one. And I'm thinking about bringing my left shoulder behind my leg. So actually letting your hips go up so your head can go down is really helpful here. Breathing, so hands can be on the floor, on your mat. You could wrap your hands around the ankle, thinking about head to heel. Round your spine for this. Breathing. Inhale. Release your hands. So this left foot is still nice and wide, and now your right foot comes to meet it. You could have your block there for a squat. Breathing. Close your eyes. Even out your breath. Long inhales. Long exhales. You can stay just as you are, or if you'd like to take a crow pose on our way to the other side, that would be an option here. So setting up your hands a little wider is often helpful. Fingers turned out, elbows wrap in. So you're setting up the shelf with your upper arms, and then it's this lean as you really set your shins on that shelf that you've created. Crow pose, breathe. Make your way to downward facing dog any way you like to. You could step back, there's that float back to chaturanga. You choose. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or float forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Bow, exhale. Coming up to standing, that same idea. Pay attention to your right foot the most. Little bend of the knees can be really helpful here. Left knee draws in as you press down to standing up. Right hand can reach. Left hand might reach. Left knee might go open. Now still think about your right foot, that standing foot. Here we go, half moon. No rush. Staying a little higher could be a nice version of this, a little more stable. Maybe you have your block nearby. Breathing here. Inhale and land way back, warrior two on your exhale. How are you guys doing? Stay with it. A couple more breaths right here. Classic warrior two. Feel your heels. Feel strong legs. Feel expansive. Inhale, reverse. Gradually into side angle as you'd like. Forearm to thigh. Maybe you have that block handy. Inhale. Maybe you use that block for an option on your way down. Inhale, reverse. 2 more. You have a few heights of your block that you could work with. Inhale. I think that was 4. Your version of side angle. Breathing here. Breathe. Hands down to the inside of that right foot. I'll adjust this way again. So the same thing, lizard pose, walking your foot over to the side there. I don't know which foot you guys are on. I was trying to mirror you, but things got a little messy. So I have the right foot forward. I had the left foot forward before. Just do the other side of wherever you were. Breathing. Stay with the block under your hands. Stay with hands on the ground. Maybe start to bring your forearms down. Drop your head. Full breath in, full breath out. I know for me, there's this idea in my brain that before I can put something out there, it has to be perfect. Like I have to have gone over it in my head a million times and really polished it before I say something, before I teach a yoga class. But a part of this year has been releasing that idea that I can have a conversation. If it comes from my heart, it'll be good enough. It'll be okay. If I teach a yoga class and it comes from my love for yoga and practicing, it'll all be okay. I don't know. You guys get to be the judge of that. All right. Stay with your lizard pose. Or if you'd like to work that head to heel option, bring your foot just a little bit closer to the midline, but still out to the side a bit is helpful. Back heel roots down, kind of like warrior 1. Pulling your hip back, dropping your head down. So you're thinking about, even if it doesn't happen, thinking about your shoulder behind your lower leg there to some degree. Drop your head. And you'll notice as you shorten your stance and draw that back foot closer in, your hips will go up and your head will actually go toward your heel a little bit more. Maybe you interlace your hands. Breath in here. Release your hands and your squat, whatever that feels like. Having your block there could be helpful. Having a little smile could be helpful. Having some breath, extremely helpful here. Crow pose, once again, if you choose. Wrapping elbows in. So you guys are at home probably. Take a cushion there. If you've never really done a crow pose and felt really solid about it, take a moment, pause the video, get a cushion or a pillow and put it right in front of your head. Having something there, I promise, makes it so much less scary so that you can actually shift more weight forward, probably than you want to. All right. Hang forward, top of your mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Turn your head side to side. We're going to hang here any way that you'd like. Could be ragdoll, a little side to side. You could take Padangusthasana, catching your big toes. A little bend in your knees could be really nice here, just to really make sure it's a release. All right, how are you? We're going to, you can have a seat or whatever you'd like. We're going to break down tree pose and or bird of paradise. This is where having a strap or just something long, scarf or even a shirt would be totally fine here. So option A is tree pose. And you could just take tree pose and hold a nice long tree while I do this other silliness. So your tree pose, growing down roots into one side, little balance there on your other side. extra credit for really holding it while I do all this talking about the other pose option. So option B is Bird of Paradise. And we've really done a pretty nice setup for this today. So just keep that in mind that we've really built it. Remember all of these things where we press into one foot to stand up? That's exactly what this is. Remember where we were right here? That's exactly what this is too, that lizard pose. So find your long thing, whatever that is. I'm going to keep my feet about hip distance apart here. Take your strap in your right hand, palm up. I'm bending my knees. I'm just going to place, I'm going to wrap my shoulder in. I'm just going to place my forearm on my low back there. Okay, you with me? This hand reaches through and catches the strap. So something like this. Really graceful and beautiful spot, I know. All right, from here, you're bringing your feet closer together. Now remember, your left foot is going to take the weight. This right foot is going to come up. And it's that same idea of rooting down to then come on up. Oh, wait, got the wrong one. Switching sides, side to side. So right leg takes the weight. If you're mirroring me, left knee comes up. So again, got the strap. I'm moving it over to my outer left hip there. I'm rooting down to come up to standing. Yeah, maybe there's an extension, Bird of Paradise. And then can you take the same care in reversing and coming down? You could try that a few times. Tree pose, if you're still there, switch sides. Left foot comes up. Bird of Paradise, we'll switch sides. Knees bent, strap in your left hand, shoulder wraps forward. Place the strap behind you. Right hand reaches through, catch your thing, your strap, your scarf. Bring your feet together. So I've moved the strap over to my left, mirroring, right hip. Left and right start to have no meaning to me after a while. Okay, rooting down through that left foot as I start to stand up. Right knee draws in. Think of lizard pose, think of tree pose, think of rooting down to maybe extend up. Have a little fun with it. A little courage, breathing. And slowly unwind. Was that fun? Set your strap to the side, child's pose. And regardless of what you did there, because I don't know, just give yourself a little pat on the back for trying something new if you did. Or even better, give yourself like a mental pat on the back for doing something that felt right to you today, whatever that is. Tree pose. If you were just watching me and laughing, no, that's not okay. Wherever you are, breathe here. Come back to your practice, back to your breath. And forearm plank. Elbows wrap in toward one another. Zip up front body. Tuck tailbone. Broaden across your collarbones. So we're looking to not round the spine. Broad across that upper chest area. You can always work with your knees down here. Trying to find those armpits as they wake up and press the earth away. Hollow armpit feeling. Stay. How much fun would it be to stay in forearm plank for a couple more minutes? Or walk your feet into your dolphin pose. Knees bent can be really nice for this one. Hips up. Breathing. Stay, or this could be a nice setup for your headstand. If you have a wall nearby, could also be nice. Wherever you are, stay, breathe. We're going to meet in the Sphinx pose, if you know what that is. If you're not sure what that is, low cobra, until we get there, till we meet you there. Slowly making your way down if you're up. If you took headstand, maybe a moment in child's pose, a few breaths there. But then as you're ready, we'll meet in that Sphinx pose, which is elbows wrapped in, hips on the floor, pressing down to lift and lengthen up. Close your eyes here. Soften your jaw. 2 lion's breath. Inhale, squeeze your face. Tongue out, exhale. And again, inhale, squeeze your face. Tongue out, exhale. And just regular breath here. Inhale. Exhale, release down. We're coming right up into Shalabhasana. Both ends lift. Breathing here. Legs are super engaged, really strong. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Inhale. Set your hands, low cobra right here, or upward facing dog. Downward facing frog pose. Knees bend deeply, hips are high. Head side to side. Inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, heels down. And we're coming into the pigeon pose here. You could take your right leg up and back, and then come through right knee to right wrist. Great place for a block underneath your right hip there. Maybe you start to come forward from there. Maybe the block can come out at some point, and you shift your shin more forward and come down. It's a really great version of this on your back, which is figure 4, something like this. Whichever version you choose, stay and breathe. This version feels good to me today. And as you stay with your breath, wherever you are, whatever shape you're in, it's like this automatic cue to your nervous system to calm down, to release a bit, to soften. And since we're in the home stretch of our practice, even longer exhales really helpful here. Walking your hands in. We're going to shift to the other side, whatever that looks like for you. If you're on your back, you can just switch legs. Right leg could go up and back. Release, other side. Left leg extends up and back. Coming into your pigeon pose, other side. Inhale. Make your way in with your exhale. Even, steady breath. And staying with wherever you are just a little bit longer. And one of my favorite ways to think about our physical yoga practice is that it then teaches our brain some new tricks, right? So sometimes staying with something that's a little bit uncomfortable or a little bit challenging in our bodies helps us learn how to stay with something a little more focus and determination in our minds, our brains. And we'll make our way onto our backs. If you're in that pigeon pose, you can tuck your back toes, extend up and back before you come on down. If you're on your back already, we will meet you there. And let's just take legs up and give them a little bit of a wiggle there. You can circle your feet. And then remember, way back to the beginning of class, you're in a T shape, palms up. Inhale, same thing as you exhale, knees go right. Inhale to center, knees go left on your exhale. Notice how it feels similar or different. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Shoulders are heavy. Inhale. Sideways as you exhale across. Inhale, exhale across. Inhale. This time, knees go over to the right. Pause like an inch off the floor, and then let them come all the way down to the floor. Close your eyes, soften in. If that feels like a little much for your low back, great place to take your block or a cushion between your knees, which will be helpful for your sacroiliac joints there. A little less pressure on your low back if you'd like. If you haven't yet, close your eyes. If you haven't yet, really drop into gravity here. Slow down your breath. And then we'll inhale to come back to neutral, maybe just a little sway side to side. And now take your knees over to that left side, hover an inch off the floor, and then let everything release. Again, I really like to take something between my knees here so it's less pressure on my low back. Totally optional for you. So staying with a twist for a little longer. We're not here too long, but a little longer. It's giving our organs some gentle, hopefully, compression for a little more of an extended time here. And then come back to neutral. Little rock side to side with your knees. Feet flat, mat width apart. Knees can rock toward one another. Stay there for Shavasana. That's a nice release for the low back as well. Or taking full Shavasana, full release. Breathing. And then you can release any control of your breath. You can release any control of your brain here. So as I was saying at the beginning of class, maybe there's a word or a concept that comes to you about something you'd like to share with the world today. And that can sound a little overwhelming, I know. How am I going to share something with the entire world? But what if you take it, what can I share with one person today? Maybe I can share some kindness with just one person, one phone call, one text even. Let them know I'm thinking of them. What can I share with my neighborhood today? Just even taking a walk and actually making eye contact over that mask. Crazy, I know. Last week I was taking a walk and had that moment where there's a car and I was going to cross a street and I was like, oh, the car should go before me. And the car like very obviously stopped and waited. And the guy like really nicely just waved me on and took, like an extra 20 seconds out of his day just for me to walk across the street. And the vibe there was something we experience often, but it felt so kind to me, just that he took that extra second to let me really walk before he zoomed past. And I remember that a week later, just that little kindness. So every moment there's this possibility. So if you found yourself in a really nice Shavasana, please stay by all means. Full permission to stay there as long as you possibly can. Share some kindness with yourself. Otherwise, you can come up and rejoin me in a seat as we close our practice together. And we'll inhale to reach hands high. Hands to heart with your exhale. One Om to close. Breathe in. Thanks so much for joining me in this practice. I hope that you've been able to receive a little bit of the kindness I hope to put out, a little bit of the joy in yoga I hope to put out and share with you all. Bringing thumbs to the center of your forehead. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Peace, Peace, Peace. A breath in. Namaste.